Have you ever had a Mandela Effect event occur to you? Something you knew forever to be true and then suddenly was not? And what was it?
This occurred when I was younger, minutes before Hurricane George 1998 hit where I lived in the Dominican Republic. I was in the dining room, but just a couple of steps outside the kitchen, while my mother, my brother and big sister were inside the small kitchen, when I heard a startling, very creepy and sort of faint moo-ha-ha-ha-ha that came out of nowhere specific. It sounded like the devil or some evil being. There were no TVs, no radios, nothing on. It also didn't sound like anyone from my family. I asked them right after hearing it if they had done so too, and they said, yeah. When I asked them years later, they said they didn't hear it, have no recollection of that ever happening.
Before me and my girlfriend went our separate ways in 2019, I knew that she was left-handed. In November of last year, I met her again and we're back together. She then told me she is right-handed, always has been. I swear that she was left-handed. I still can't wrap my head around it.
When my family moved in to the house my dad currently lives in, I was about 6 or 7. Something I found so cool about the house was that in the laundry there was a doggy door. Last year I brought my dog over and told my dad to get the doggy door ready. He was confused because there is none. I swear I remember putting my hand through it and thinking it was the coolest thing in the world when I was 7, so I have no idea what happened to it. He rents, so he has never done any repairs or anything. Edit. I just asked my little sister if she remembers it and re-asked my dad. They both remember it also.
When I was a kid, maybe 8 or so, suddenly all the hot and cold taps had swapped sides, not just in our house, but everywhere. Threw me off quite a lot, as it's something you develop muscle memory for. Living on a farm, we got dirty a lot and would wash our hands every time we entered the house. We hardly ever used the hot tap, as it took too long for the hot water to come through, and when it did, it was too hot anyway. Not a mixer faucet. Now the cold tap I'd reached for thousands of times was the hot tap. Also now turning my head the opposite way to get a mouthful of cold rinse water from the other tap when brushing my teeth, or forgetting it had changed and rinsing with warm water was particularly weird. Nobody else seemed to notice this change.
About 10 years ago, a dude I went to elementary school died in a car accident. It was particularly sad because he had just had a child born. Some background, he moved to my town when I was in 4th grade, and I was the first to befriend him. He betrayed me when he became popular. For the past 10 years, I would randomly think about him, how I forgive the 4th grade betrayal, and hope his child is doing okay. A couple months ago, motherfucker shows up in the people you may know on Facebook. After some creeping, he's not only very much alive, but thriving. I took back my forgiveness for the betrayal. Fuck you, Julian.
I thought Jaleel White died sometime in the early thousands. I clearly remember seeing it on CNN and even discussing it with people. Also, I remember reading about it again when I saw him in Big Fat Liar. Then, like 15 years later, I see in the news that he's launching his cannabis line called Purple Urkel. I swear I fell through a portal in the early 2010s.
I visited Mount Rushmore when I was 5. I was with my mom, her boyfriend, my brother, and my grandma. I remember opening the car door and stepping onto gravel. I remember my mom's boyfriend making fun of me for picking my nose and my brother laughing at me. My grandma used to tell me that she remembered it, but she's gone now, and my mom says she was just saying that to make me feel better. She was my best friend. I haven't spoken to my brother about it due to lifestyle differences, and the boyfriend isn't around anymore. I've just recently started trying to tell myself it never happened. How could it have? I don't know, but I remember it so vividly.
The song Love Buzz disappeared from Nirvana's compilation album. I never owned Bleach. I've loved that song forever. There is no way I would have ever known it if it wasn't on any of the albums I owned. Bugs the hell out of me.
Know what bugs the hell out of me? People who claim to be these die-hard Nirvana fans, but have never owned Bleach. Psh, whatever, sister. Oh, hey, I guess that's the end of this one.